everyone, it's Dre. It's been forever since I did a video on this channel, but I wanted to talk about why I'm not vegan. So when you first start researching online about how to eat healthy, you are going to be inundated with experts and testimonials about going vegan. And you also are probably going to have the backlog in your subconscious of implications throughout the years that vegan is healthy. So I certainly felt that way at first. I felt like I probably would end up going vegan and slowly transition into sort of a alkaline diet, but vegan version where I was just real plant heavy and unprocessed, like a whole foods diet that was vegan. However, science. So I am now completely on the other side of this ongoing, very intelligent debate. There are super smart people on both sides of this debate. There's the forks over knives people and the scientists and the researchers and the climate warriors who are talking about sustainability. And then over here you have the other scientists that use a lot of the same methods to come to the exact opposite conclusion, which includes the Weston Price Foundation and a bunch of nutritional therapy practitioners and people who've recovered from autoimmune disease, like me. So if you are a healthy person with no physical problems, limitations, or allergies, then you may experience a feeling of feeling better when you go vegan, and that is because of several reasons. Initially, you are eating cleaner oftentimes. You're taking a burden off of your digestive system and therefore your body to free up more energy for your mind and for your other functions and for your detoxification pathways, because you are reducing your calories oftentimes, you're eating plants, and you're eating foods that are nutrient dense. These are all really good things. Now, there are a ton of people who experience those positives at first and then keep going and diving into being completely vegan for years on end, who end up with B12 deficiencies, autoimmune diseases, problems with their thyroid, problems with their pancreas and other systems, digestive issues. This is because the long-term nutritional depletion kicks in. Now, if you are someone like me who wouldn't say you have no health problems, who is fighting something, who is trying to stay healthy, who is dealing with some limitations, it's especially important for us to not get sucked into the extreme diet of veganism. We need some animal-based products. This is going to get less and less popular. I might get shadow banned on this one video. I don't know, because what is happening is the world is very populated right now, and we are having ongoing food distribution issues and greenhouse effect issues. And the consumption of meat is contributing to some of those concerns. It is. And then you zoom into the people who have been made sick oftentimes by these same food solutions like GMO and processing and everything else. It is not our responsibility to solve the world's problems by self-sacrificing our own lives. It's not gonna help enough, and we're the ones with oftentimes chronic illness, disabilities, sicknesses. We're dealing with enough. And if we can live healthier and more well-rounded lives by consuming animal products, then we should be able to. So the reason that it is sometimes helpful for people who are sick to consume animal products is bioavailability. That's it. It's easier to synthesize and process these types of amino acids, these types of proteins, these types of fats, and the fat-soluble vitamins inside of them. They are easier to process and assimilate into our mitochondria. Our body has to do less work, and when we have impaired systems, such as our digestive system, it's important to consume foods that are going to be healing for our body by being bioavailable. For instance, omega-3s. The omega-3 in fish oil is absorbed better by the human body than any type of omega-3 that you think you're getting out of flaxseed oil or any other source that's plant-based. Do I eat both of those? Yeah. I don't think it's evil to try to get omega-3s out of plants, but it is scientifically proven to be more bioavailable and more robust in its nutrition from fish. That's one example of so freaking many. Like meat. I am so allergic to molds still. Hopefully it goes away a little bit more, but for the last 12 years I've been so allergic to certain molds, including the molds that they use to synthesize B vitamins, that I cannot take any brand of B vitamins. And I'm B deficient. Like, I'm several of the B vitamins deficient, including 12 on paper sometimes when I get my blood work. So for me, I have to combat that by eating liver. I would just take desiccated liver pills, but I have lost beef, which is a bummer. So I now react to beef and I have to eat chicken liver to get my B12. I feel like crap if I go too long without eating chicken liver. Do I enjoy it? Does it taste good? No. Would I choose to do it if it wasn't for the nutritional deficiency that I'm fixing with it? No. But I have to, and it works. And I'm scared for people like me, which there are more and more of because of our toxic, water, air, and food. And maybe EMFs and general other things atmospherically and socially. I think there's going to be more people like me, unfortunately, that have compromised systems and have to try to work towards healing by modifying their diet. And I think in the next few decades, it's going to get more and more socially difficult for us to do what we need to do to get healthy. That's the only reason I'm speaking up about it, is because people who are literally on the ADA list, like me, for their digestive issues shouldn't be judged by people who have done way less research on food and been through way less illness and recovery because some YouTuber told them that plant-based is better. It's better in some ways. It's better for some people, but everyone's dealing with different issues in their system. So yeah, no food is perfect. If you eat too much fish, you might get some heavy metal issues. If you eat too much broccoli, you might get the goitrogenic effect. And no food is perfect. That's why we have to vary our consumption. And veganism is one thing that limits that. And if you're already limited, I don't advise it. It's an ongoing debate. It's not going to be solved. No one's going to come to a consensus. There are deep-rooted ideologies behind both of these camps of belief. You've got people who have grown up Hindu. Obviously, they're going to be vegan for very deep spiritual reasons, and whose DNA and genetics has evolved to interact favorably with the vegan diet over generations. That's not a sweeping statement. Not everybody in these highly Hindu areas has these types of genetics, but if you look at the commonalities of what percent has certain blood types, what percent has certain abilities to digest plant-based proteins, you're going to find that certain areas of the world are more able to be vegan and sustain healthy lives for decades on end, and it's going to be in the areas that Hinduism is super popular, so that's highly correlated, which is understandable. And then you have Christianity, another huge religion in the world, where the Lord set up a system of animal sacrifices and instructed people to eat meat, and whose savior ate meat when he was on the earth. So 2 examples of ideological influence over diet. There's many, many other examples. So where does that leave us? I mean, I think you have to avoid the extremes. Now, sometimes you have to do the extremes, like if you have celiac disease like me, you have to extremely avoid gluten, etc. But if you can avoid the extremes and eat a lower carb than average diet that's plant rich, that's mostly alkaline, and that does have healthy animal products included, I think you're going to be better off. There are certainly exceptions. I've met people who have survived Lyme disease who got intolerant to all meat for years. So, of course, they had to be vegan unless they were able to tolerate egg. But in general, if your body allows you to, then don't deprive it of those nutrients that are the most bioavailable. In this day and age, that is what we all need. Now, if you just don't like eating meat because it's been a long time, I'm not getting paid, of course, for anything, but I want to recommend a supplement. It is the Ancestral Health line, where they dehydrate nutrient-dense animal organs like liver, beef liver, and stuff, and put it in pill form. So if you feel like you can't keep up with this whole meat consumption thing, but you know your body probably needs some of those nutrients like iron and B12, then just take it in pill form. It's a food product, so it's not like synthesized in a lab. It's just literally dehydrated food. So yeah, my first year of research, laying there sick, was filled with people who ate almost exclusively fruit and felt good, people who ate vegan diets and felt good. And then I dug a layer deeper into the actual science. And there are just so many studies, medical studies, peer-reviewed journals, that indicate that for most people, that's not the way to go. So however popular or unpopular things are, I care more about whether they're effective and true. And that's where I landed on the whole veganism conversation. Thanks for watching.